Have a nice day, children. History Unit 9, Freedom Struggle in Tamil Nadu. This is our today lesson. Introduction. We'll see about our Tamil Nadu freedom struggle. Tamil Nadu showed the lead in resisting colonial rule. As early as the late 18th century, the Palayakkarars resisted the English. Even after the defeat of the Palayakkarars, an uprising was organized by Indian Chippewas and officers in Velur Fort in 1806. The freedom struggle in Tamil Nadu was unique because from the beginning it was not only a struggle for independence from the English rule but also a struggle for independence from social disability imposed by the caste system. Early nationalist stirrings in Tamil Nadu. First one is Madras Native Association, that is MNA. It was the earliest organization to be founded in South India. It was started by Gazulu Lakshmi Narasu Srinivasanar and their associates in 1852. The objective was to promote the interest of its members and their focus was on reduction in taxation. It also protested against the support of the government to Christian missionary activities. One of the important contributions of the MNA was its agitation against torture of the peasants by revenue officials. These efforts led to the establishment of the Torture Commission and the eventual abolition of the Torture Act, which justified the collection of land revenue. Next one, beginnings of the nationalist press, the Hindu and Swadeshamitran. The appointment of T. Muthuswamy as the first Indian judge of the Madras High Court in 1877 created a furor in Madras presidency. The entire press in Madras criticized the appointment of an Indian as a judge. The press opposed his appointment and the educated youth realized that the press was entirely owned by Europeans. The need for a newspaper to express the Indian perspective was keenly felt. G. Subramaniam, M. Veeraragavachari and 4 other friends together started a newspaper, The Hindu, in 1878. It soon became the vehicle of nationalist propaganda. G. Subramaniam also started a Tamil nationalist periodical, Swadeshamitran, in 1891, which became a daily in 1899. The founding of the Hindu and Swadeshamitran provided encouragement to the starting of other native newspapers such as Indian Patriot, South Indian Mail, Madras Standard, Desabhimani, Vijaya, Suryodayam and India. Next one is Madras Mahajana Sabha. Madras Mahajana Sabha, MMS, was the earliest organization in South India with clear nationalist objectives. On 16th May 1884, MMS was started by M. Veeraragavachari and P. Anandacharlu, P. Rangaya and few others. P. Rangaya became its first president. P. Anandacharlu played an active role as its secretary. The members met periodically, debated public issues in closed meetings, conducted hall meetings, and communicated their views to the government. Its demands included conduct of simultaneous civil services examinations in England and India, abolition of the Council of India in London, reduction of taxes, and reduction of civil and military expenditure. Many of its demands were adopted later by the Indian National Congress, founded in 1885. Moderate phase. Provincial associations such as the Madras Mahajana Sabha led to the formation of an all India organization. The Indian National Congress leaders from different parts of India attended several meetings before the formation of the Congress. One such meeting was held in December 1884 in Theosophical Society at Adayar. It was attended by Dadabhai Nauroji, K.T. Telang, Surendranath Banerjee and other prominent leaders apart from G. Subramaniam, Rangaya and Anand Charlu from Madras. The first session of the Indian National Congress was held in 1885 at Bombay. Out of total of 72 delegates, 22 members were from Madras. The second session of the Indian National Congress was held in Calcutta in 1886 with Dadabhai Nauroji in the chair. The third session was held at Marquis Garden, now known as the Thousand Lights, in Madras in 1887 with Badruddin Tyabji as a president. Out of the 607 All India delegates of 362 were from Madras Presidency. Swadeshi movement. The partition of Bengal 1905 led to the Swadeshi movement and changed the course of the struggle for freedom. In various parts of India, especially Bengal, Punjab and Maharashtra, popular leaders emerged. They implemented the program of the Calcutta Congress, which called upon the nation to promote Swadeshi enterprise, boycott foreign goods and promote national education. Response in Tamil Nadu. V.O. Chidambaranar, V. Chakkarayyar, Subramania Bharati and Surendranath Arya were some of the prominent leaders in Tamil Nadu. Public meetings attended by thousands of people were organized in various parts of Tamil Nadu. Tamil was used on the public platform for the first time to mobilize the people. Subramania Bharati's patriotic songs were especially important in stirring patriotic emotions. Many journals were started to propagate Swadeshi ideas. Swadeshamitran and India were prominent journals. Students and youth participated widely in the Swadeshi movement. Swadeshi's Steam Navigation Company. One of the most enterprising acts in pursuance of Swadeshi was the launching of the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company at Thoothukudi by V.O. Chidambaranar. He purchased 2 ships, Galia and Lavo, and plied them between Thoothukudi and Colombo. Next, Annie Besant and the Home Rule Movement. Annie Besant, an Irish lady, the leader of the Theosophical Society, proposed the Home Rule Movement on the model of Irish Home Rule League. She started Home Rule League in 1916 and carried forward the demand for home rule all over India. G.S. Arundel, B.B. Wadia and C.P. Ramaswamy assisted her in this campaign. They demanded home rule with only a nominal allegiance to British Crown. She started the newspapers New India and Commonwealth to carry forward her agenda. She remarked, better bullock carts and freedom than trained Dulux with subjection. Under the Press Act of 1910, Annie Besant was asked to pay hefty amount as security. She wrote 2 books, How India Wrought for Freedom and India, a Nation, and a pamphlet on self-government. Non-Brahmin movement and the challenge to Congress. The South Indian Liberal Federation. The non-Brahmins organized themselves into political organizations to protect their interests. In 1912, the Madras Dravidian Association was founded. C. Natesanar played an active role as its secretary. In June 1916, he established the Dravidian Association Hostel for non-Brahmin students. On 20th November 1916, a meeting of about 30 non-Brahmins was held under the leadership of P. Tyagarayar, Dr. T. M. Nair and C. Nadesanar at Victoria Public Hall in Chennai. The South Indian Liberal Federation, that is SILF, was founded to promote the interests of the non-Brahmins. Government's repressive measures, Rowlatt Act. The Draconian Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act, popularly known as the Rowlatt Act, after the name of Sir Sidney Rowlatt, who headed the committee that recommended it, was passed in 1919. Under the Act, anyone could be imprisoned on charges of terrorism without due judicial process. Indians were aghast at this. Gandhi gave voice to the anger of the people and adopted the Satyagraha method that he had used in South Africa. Rowlatt Satyagraha. On 18th March 1919, Gandhi arrested a meeting on Marina Beach. On 6th April 1919, Hartal was organized to protest against the Black Act. Protest demonstrations were held at several parts of Tamil Nadu. Processions from many areas of the city converged in the Marina Beach, where there was a large gathering. They devoted the whole day to fasting the prayer in the Marina Beach. Madras Satyagraha Sabha was formed. Rajaji, Kasturi Rangar, S. Satyamurthy and George Joseph addressed the meeting. A separate meeting of workers was addressed by V. Kalyana Sundaram, that is Trivika, B.P. Wadia and VOC. An important aspect of the movement was that the working classes, students and women took part in large numbers. Khilafat movement. Following the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, General Dyer, who was responsible for it was not only acquitted for all charges but rewarded. After the First World War, the Caliph of Turkey was humiliated and deprived of all powers. To restore the Caliph, the Khilafat movement was started. Muslims who had largely kept from the nationalist movement now joined in it in huge numbers. In Tamil Nadu, Khilafat Day was observed on 17th April 1920 with the meeting presided over by Maulana Saukat Ali. Another such conference was held at Erode. Vaniambadi was as the epicenter of the Khilafat agitation. Non-cooperation movement. Tamil Nadu was active during the non-cooperation movement. C. Rajaji and E.V. Ramasamy, EVR, later known as Periyar, provided the leadership. Then Rajaji worked closely with Yaqub Kazan, founder of the Madras branch of the Muslim League. As a result, the Hindus and the Muslims cooperated closely during the course of the movement in Tamil Nadu. No tax campaigns and temperance movement. As a part of the non-cooperation movement, in many places, cultivators refused to pay tax. A no tax campaign took place in Tanjavur. Then councils, schools and courts were boycotted. Foreign goods were boycotted. There were a number of workers' strikes all over region, many of them led by nationalist leaders. One of the important aspects of the movement in Tamil Nadu was the temperance movement or movement against liquor. In November 1921, it was decided to organize civil disobedience. Rajaji, Subramanya Sastri and EVR were arrested. The visit of Prince of Wales on 13th January 1922 was boycotted. In the police repression, 2 were killed and many injured. The non-cooperation movement was withdrawn in 1922 after the Chauri Chaura incident, in which 22 policemen were killed. Swarajists. Justice rivalry. Following the withdrawal of the non-cooperation movement, the Congress was divided between no changes who wanted to continue the boycott of the councils and pro changes who wanted to contest the elections for the councils. Rajaji, along with the other staunch Gandhian followers, opposed the council entry. Along with Kasturi Rangar and M.A. Ansari, Rajaji advocated the boycott of the councils. Opposition to this led to the formation of the Swaraj Party within the Congress by Chittaranjan Das and Motilal Nehru. In Tamil Nadu, the Swarajists were led by S. Srinivasanar and S. Satyamurthy. Subramanian Ministry. In Madras provincial elections held in 1926, the Swarajists won the majority of the elected seats. However, it did not accept office in accordance with the Congress policy. Instead, they supported an independent P. Subramanian to form the ministry. The Swarajists did not contest the 1930 elections, leading to an easy victory for the Justice Party. The Justice Party remained in office till 1937. Simon Commission boycott. In 1927, a statutory commission was constituted under Sir John Simon to review the Act of 1919 and to suggest reforms. However, to the great disappointment of Indians, it was an all-white commission with not a single Indian member. So the Congress boycotted the Simon Commission. In Madras, the Simon Boycott Propaganda Committee was set up with S. Satyamurthy as the president. The arrival of Simon Commission in Madras on 18th February 1929. Black flags were waved against the commission. Civil disobedience movement towards Purna Swaraj. The Madras session of the Indian National Congress in 1927 declared complete independence as its goal. In the 1929 Lahore session of the Congress, Purna Swaraj, that is Purna Swaraj means complete independence, was adopted as the goal, and on 26 January 1930, the national flag was hoisted by Jawaharlal Nehru on the banks of River Ravi as the Declaration of Independence. Salt March to Vedaranyam. When the Viceroy did not accept the demands put forward by Gandhi, he launched the civil disobedience movement. Rajaji organized and led a salt satyagraha march to Vedaranyam. The march started from Tiruchirappalli on 13th April 1930 and reached Vedaranyam in Tanjavur districts on 28th April. A special song was composed for the march by Namakkal V. Ramalinganar with the lines, "A war is against Sand's ward. Sand's bloodshed joined this march." Despite a brutal crackdown by the police, the marching satyagrahis were provided a warm reception along the route. On reaching Vedaranyam, 12 volunteers under the leadership of Rajaji broke the salt law by picking up salt. Rajaji was arrested. T.S.S. Rajan, Rukmani Lakshmipati, Sardar Vedaratnam, C. Swaminathan and K. Santanam were among the prominent leaders who participated in the Vedaranyam Salt Satyagraha. Widespread agitations in Tamil districts. The Satyagrahis under the leadership of T. Prakasam and K. Nageshwara Rao set up a camp at Udayavanam near Madras. However, the police arrested them. It led to a hotel in Madras. The clashes with the police in Tirumalizikeni, which lasted for the 3 hours on 27th April 1930, left 3 dead. Volunteers who attempted to offer salt satyagraha in Rameswaram were arrested. Mill workers struck work across the province. Women participated enthusiastically. Rukmani Lakshmipati was the first woman to pay penalty for violation salt laws. Police used brutal force to suppress the movement. Bhashyam, popularly known as Arya, hoisted the national flag atop Fort St. George on 26 January 1932. Tirupur Kumaran. On 11th January 1932, a procession carrying national flags and singing patriotic songs was brutally beaten by the police in Tirupur. OK. Yes or Kumaraswamy, popularly Tirupur Kumaran, fell dead holding the national flag aloft. He is hailed as Kodikatha Kumaran. First Congress Ministry. In the 1937 election, the Congress emerged victorious. The Justice Party was trounced. Congress victory in the elections clearly indicated its popularity with the people. Rajaji formed the first Congress ministry. He introduced prohibition on an experimental basis in Salem. To compensate for the loss of revenue, he introduced sales tax. When the British involved India in the Second World War without consulting the elected Congress ministries, the latter resigned. Anti-Hindi agitation. One of the controversial measures of Rajaji was the introduction of Hindi as a compulsory subject in schools. This was considered to be a form of Aryan and North Indian imposition detrimental to Tamil language and culture and therefore caused much public resentment. EVR led a massive campaign against it. He organized an anti-Hindi conference at Salem. It formulated a definite program of action. The Scheduled Castes Federation and the Muslim League extended its support to the anti-Hindi agitation. Natarajan and Talamuthu, two of the enthusiastic agitators, died in prison. A rally was organized from Tiruchirappalli to Madras. More than 1,200 protesters, including EVR, were arrested. After the resignation of the Congress ministry, the governor of Madras, who took over the reins of administration, removed Hindi as a compulsory subject. Quit India struggle. On 8th August 1942, the Quit India resolution was passed and Gandhi gave the slogan "Do or Die." The entire Congress leadership was arrested overnight. K. Kamaraj, while returning from Bombay, noticed that at every railway station, the police waited with a list of local leaders and arrested them as they got down. Kamaraj gave the police the slip and got down at Arakonam itself. He then worked underground and organized people during the Quit India movement. Undying mass movement. All sections of the society participated in the movement. There were a large number of workers' strikes, such as strikes in Buckingham and Carnatic Mills, Madras Port Trust, Madras Corporation, and the electric tramway. Students of various colleges took active part in the protests. The Quit India movement was suppressed with brutal force. Thank you, ma'am. Take care of yourself. Go through the lesson. Learn book back question and answer. Bye-bye.